Hey guys, it's Lauren and welcome to my channel. So I just got back from my friends Kelly and Kris's house, and Kelly reached out to me for some help with creating a fun asymmetrical family photo gallery wall. They have a large wall in their family room that we plan to use, and they'd love to display family photos including their son Peyton, their daughter Gracie, and then we're also going to honor the memory of their daughter Allie. Now today I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks to make this process a little bit easier, because I think a gallery wall for a lot of people seems like a very overwhelming idea. And then we're also going to finish off the family room with just a couple small changes, and here's a before of the space. This is their family room where they spend most of their time. They have the large wood wall feature, nice high ceilings with natural light. They have a large sectional and coffee table, and they have a very pale blue color on the wall, which is a nice contrast with the warm wood tones. Now in this space, they already have these fun prints on the wall with a light wood birch frame, and we are going to use these in the final collage wall. They have also these fun mercury glass lamps which add a nice shine element, so I think I'll probably pull in some of the silver chrome looking frames into the space, as well as some warm wood frames and some white frames too. I think this wall will help make it all look cohesive in the end, so I'm kind of glad that that's there. And then overall, I'd say their style is contemporary. They don't have anything that's really going to trend out of style really fast, and so I'm going to try to stick with that contemporary style for building this collage wall. So I'm going to go ahead and shop for frames in different sizes and finishes to add interest to the wall, and then I'll send all those dimensions of the frames to Kelly so that she can sort through the family photos and get some printed. And here's all the fun frames that I picked up. I got a lot of different sizes and assortment of finishes, including chrome and pewter. These were tabletop frames that I got at TJ Maxx. I got some matching frames at Goodwill that look brand new, so that was great. A little clock, and then IKEA was a go-to for frames for sure that come with matting, which is nice. And then I picked up this fun blue frame at Hobby Lobby, half off, and then these nice wooden frames at TJ Maxx, and this little cutting board from IKEA. I also picked up some baskets because Kelly mentioned they needed better toy storage, and she had a couple baskets that had collapsed and didn't really hold up to the job. And then I also picked up a couple of these shallow white baskets from IKEA. They'll be perfect for going under their coffee table that has a built-in shelf. And then I also went ahead and picked up a couple of these throw pillows I saw at Big Lots. I liked the colors. I thought the ombre watercolor effect would go well with the art prints they have on the wall, and the colors definitely blend in, and the overall style. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring over some of these chrome and mercury glass accents, just in case we use some of them in the room to match with their lamps. Alright, so this is Kelly, and this is her house. So we're going to be doing this fun gallery wall in the family room, and we're including photos of the family, and part of the family is their daughter that they tragically did lose at the age of 5. Yeah. But we're going to honor her today with photos on the wall, and I think it's going to be beautiful. It's a beautiful collection of photos. But did you want to talk a little bit about the nonprofit or the memorial fund that you have that you work with?
Yes. So Allie she was born in 2011. And she died when she was 5 in 2017 from a rare brain condition. So after she passed away, we set up a memorial fund that we call Shine Like Rainbows, which is a line from a song from My Little Ponies. And she loved that show, and we love that song. And we do some fundraising for Nationwide Children's Hospital, and we also will help out some families who are going through an illness of a child. We might send them Kroger gift cards or help them with a project that they're working on, and we just like to take every opportunity we can to just help sick kids around Columbus, because we know that there are a lot of families out there who have kids like Allie who have rare conditions that not very much is known about, so it's even harder to treat because you don't even know what you're up against. So we always try to find those kids and help them out any way we can.
So do you guys do a lot of events then? What type of events do you do for fundraising?
We've done one in-person event And then last year, me and several of my siblings ran the half marathon, and I wasn't up for an in-person event last year because of the training, so we did a online basket raffle. Okay. We did a quarantine bingo during the beginning days of quarantine, and we had a lot of fun doing challenges. We raised, I think, about $400 and just sent tons of snacks and food to the people working at Nationwide Children's Hospital since they didn't get to stay home and we were all stuck at home.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to find out more information or maybe even donate,
there's a Facebook page called Shine Like Rainbows, ALLISON LYNN Conover Memorial Fund. But I think if you just type in Shine Like Rainbows, you'll be able to find the group.
But I'm so excited to put together this wall. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Kris is playing video games, so I'm not going to film too much right now, but we'll get back to it.
We'll be working around it.
For Kelly and Kris's living room, I wasn't really planning on doing much as far as DIY projects go for the space, but I did have the idea once I saw this fun little cutting board at IKEA to try to make it into some sort of sign. And I found this really cute quote by Dr. Seuss. It says, "Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." Now, I thought it was cute and really appropriate for a gallery wall. I think it's a good quote for the family, but then also because all of these little moments in time are going to be up on the wall, and as their kids grow up and they talk about the photos more, they're going to become more of long-standing memories. Now, what I'm going to do, I do not like to do lettering at all, but I think I found an easier way to try to get this lettering transferred onto this cutting board. So I did go ahead and put these dimensions in Word, and then I printed out my font on a piece of paper. And then I'm gonna put the quote on it like this. I took a sheet of white tissue paper, and I'm gonna trace over this lettering with a fine print Sharpie marker. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this tracing paper over this wood cutting board. And now I'm actually going to draw out these letters again on top of this wood. And this time I'm going to go really slowly so that more of this ink actually bleeds through the tissue paper. Yay! So I ended up using one of these white paint pens to outline all those words, and then I went back and just added almost like that shadow effect with the black Sharpie again. And now Rizzo the cat's gonna explore some bags. Kelly and I are gonna put all of these wonderful prints in their frames, and then the kids are gonna nap, and Kris will get his regularly scheduled video game time, and he won't even know that we're talking about him because he has headsets on. Then we laid out all the frames on the floor to get them in a position we would like for the walls. I placed the large frames down first and then tried to kind of fill in with the medium-sized frames and small ones to get them nice and spread out. And then where you see those white cardboard pieces, that's going to be where the corner of the wall is in the room, and then we're going to have the frames kind of span out to either side. Then I also created these little wooden sticks. You could use paint stir sticks, and I screwed little small screws through them, but not completely all the way through. And with these, what the plan is to put the nail head or screw head through the sawtooth hangers on the back of these frames. And then once we have them positioned up on the wall in a place we like, I can just press against the frame and it'll leave that indentation in the drywall. And then I'm also going to place a small level on top of these frames as we're holding them in place to get our pilot hole. And in order to keep them there a little easier, I placed some double-sided tape on the bottom of the level. Then we're also going to use command strips to secure the bottom of the frames to the wall. This will just help ensure that the frames don't get wobbly and unlevel over time, and so that the kids and cat don't accidentally bump them and move them for the ones that are going to be lower on the wall by the couch.
I should move over here.
There you go. I said that to you one time. You didn't
Well,
listen.
Kelly, I have a headset on. Gunshots and explosions in my ear. I think I heard you.
So we're placing the first frame on the wall, and you can't see from here, but I am holding onto those wooden sticks with the screws in it. Kelly's placing a level on top of that frame, and once it's level, I'm going to go ahead and press onto the frame to leave those screw marks in the drywall, and then I'll use that as a guide for where to hammer in my nails. This was actually super helpful. Then once the frame's back on, we're going to double check for the levelness. And then we're using this laser level to mark a line for where all the other bottom frames will go, and this will just make it easier later as we're positioning them on the wall. So for the second one, I'm going to go ahead and place on the opposite wall. I'm using those wooden sticks again and the level, and then we'll get this one in place. We are attaching the Velcro command strips onto the bottom of the frames, and you'll see why in just a second. But I'll get this second frame on the wall, and then we'll start building up the top frames after we have the bottom ones in place. But super helpful to have two people working on this so we can pass back and forth with different tools, and Kelly can place the command strips on while I go ahead and hammer in the nails on the wall. And here's Rizzo the cat. One of the reasons why we're putting on the command strips is because he might actually try to climb on top of the frames. And the kids might too, I don't know. But anyway, thanks Rizzo. There you can see those wooden sticks I used, and it was super helpful to have those. It honestly made putting in those nail holes a lot easier than trying to measure everything with a ruler. And that level, the small one on top of the frames, actually worked out great with that little bit of Scotch tape on the bottom of it. It helped prevent it from sliding off, kind of gave it a little bit more traction. And this wall is just about complete. It also helped to have a second set of eyes for a couple of places where we needed to look at it from a distance and figure out the spacing, or decide if we wanted to kind of rearrange things a little bit more. We cut the command strips in half too, just to make them spread out a little bit more, since buying a whole package sometimes can kind of add up. And now with this gallery wall just about complete, we're going to go ahead and do the final finishing touches in the room. And Gracie's going to be a big help and actually decide what toys to put in all of these fun baskets. So we're going to use the big one for her older brother's toys, and then we have some smaller, wider ones that we will use for Gracie's toys, so it's more accessible for her. For these shallow baskets that I'm going to use on their coffee table for the lower shelf, they are kind of stiff and I don't want to scratch the wood of that furniture. So I decided that maybe we'll try attaching on these furniture pad strips onto the bottom of these baskets. And now they should be able to slide easily without scratching or damaging the furniture. So with young kids in the house and a little kitten, to have anything glass in the living room might seem kind of dangerous, but I thought maybe we stick command strips on the bottom so at least it doesn't get pushed off the table. So we're gonna try that. And here's a look at the family room now. So you walk in and you can see those fun baskets on either side of the TV stand, different colors, different sizes and shapes, and I think they all work really well together, and definitely a good storage option for toys. Everything's accessible, and they actually have some extra room left over for throw blankets. Then we have this chrome and mercury glass vase to match the lamps that are in the room already. And then as we turn towards the main wall in the room, you can see they actually got this nice area rug in the blue tones that matches the rest of the space perfectly. And then we have these little shallow white baskets under the coffee table, and they slide out nice and smooth. They're a perfect solution for extra items. Then on the couch we have these watercolor ombre throw pillows, which I think once again just work well in this space. And then we have the main point of this project, which is the really fun gallery wall. I love the mix of different colors of frames, of the mix with the pictures from birthday parties and trips to Disney and just family photo shoots on the wall that all blend in really nicely. There's a lot of really precious photos on the wall too to honor Allie. I feel like we could talk about each one of these photos because they're all so adorable. I love this one of Peyton and Gracie, that's super precious. I like this clock on the wall because it's just a nice round accent to break up all those square frames everywhere. And then I like the blend of these watercolor prints on the wall too. Oh my gosh, but all these photos are so adorable. And what's great about this is because it's an asymmetrical shape, they can definitely add on to this gallery wall over time because it doesn't have to fit within a box that we created on a wall. It can organically grow over time, and they can easily find frames that will match with these different finishes. All right, so Kelly, what do you think of the place?
I love it. I love that we've got all of our pictures in here where we spend most of our time, and looks good and more organized.
It's super fun, yeah.
Super cute.
I love all the photos. And all those colors blend so well together because you have this nice feature wall of wood. Turned out really good. What do you think, Gracie?
That's a nightmare.
Definitely.
No, it's a nightmare.
That's a nightmare. He wants to start his own YouTube channel.
Oh,
I don't think.
oh dear.
Say, not before I get a haircut.
We got him in the video.